Hi, welcome to Politics with Jude on 45 TV. We know it's been a minute, but trust me, we are back and we are back for good. We have the good stuff here today. We're going to talk about what's been happening in and around our country, Ghana. Whilst waking up one time and then, bombs flying here and there, our dear president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, was picking up flowers and winning some laurels for Ghana. Today we are going to talk a little about the Israel-US-Iran war. We'll also talk about Ghana earning, its place on the world stage at the UN with the transatlantic slave resolution, and then we'll cap it all up with what is being talked much about in Ghana, the big push. We're gonna look at the brouhahas around the big push. We're gonna also talk about works that's going on with the big push. We're gonna look at the developments, and we're gonna inundate you with videos from various quarters. And Otunfo has been speaking. He's given the go ahead to the road minister. So just stay with us. First, we're going to talk about the Iran-Israel war. How it coming home is how it affects or impacts Ghana. What we're going to do in today's session is we're going to have a mix of English and the tree. Important say, in Chechirma, yede bre yetiefoɔ no, yebetimi akyerɛ mu ama yɛmamenom ne yɛnuanom na unfortunately ɔmo ante brɔfo kasa no yɛbɛtumi akyerɛ mu ama ɔmo ate aseɛ. Ndɛ no dwumadi a yɛde brɛ mu no yɛpɛ sɛ first and foremost no yɛka nsinsuanso a Israel-US war no ɛde brɛ yɛn as Ghana. Yɛbɛka ho asɛm na yɛ papa John Dramani Mahama yɛ mampanin ɔde Ghana ɔhyɛ Ghana animonyam ɛwɔ the national stage no so the transatlantic resolution no na yɛka transatlantic resolution a ɛdeɛ ne yɛ pa akyerɛ transatlantic resolution no ɛtete no ɛnkane no yɛ papa nom ne maame nom a yɛfa koti kwan so a yɛtɔn wɔn te sɛ wɔn yɛ ntoos anaasɛ nyadora bi yɛtɔn wɔn ma aborɔfofoɔ a wɔn ne wɔn kɔɔ abɛɛfo wɔn de wɔn kɔ amanɔne na ɛne wɔn kɔ yie adwuma ɛde nyamransɛm ewudi like some wicked treacherous pardon my tree, I'm getting better at it, but then we're gonna work on it. We're going to talk about all of that. First, let's cut to it and then just get to the main meat of today's discussion. So Israel-Iran war. There's a little backstory about that. It's got to do with the fact that Israel. I'm going to be very neutral in talking about this because I want to focus on the effects it has on Ghana. So I'm just going to talk about the shoreline backstory about in all of this. So it's all about US having the inclination that Iran wants to have a nuclear weapon. US says no, they are not going to allow that to happen. In Israel's mind, Israel is thinking that Iran has proxy armies, that is Hamas and Hezbollah, and for that reason, in the attacks they are having, they are coming from Iran's proxy. So this is a three-stage war where each and everyone put out a reason as to why they are bombing Iran, and Iran is holding its fort and also saying it's defending its own. It has the right to defend itself. But how does this impact Ghana? First and foremost, let's talk about one of our brothers who, unfortunately, was serving Ghana by being on a peace mission. Albert Abrefa Buzia. Now, or condemn ama UN or Lebanon. And so, 4 years and 2 bombs be a no ebi ko kan ama ene no we pra enye easy injury bia na so ye bompa ama no ye de ye wo show we so 45 TV ye bompa say nyame be kan ho ama at least unya na pomedin. Now, one of the major issues with the Israel Iran US war no fango, which we call oil, right? We can see at the pumps say Ghana podi prices no enya cost pa ye danso no we see ya te say MPA CEO no Godwin Edugitamaklo abeka say ye ban petrol mun sem Ghana war 4 to 6 weeks cover and our car say with diesel no any other liquefied gas no we have like almost 8 weeks of cover. Yenya analyst binom so ababeka say Ghana no na yenhye da import be free Israel and Iran. Now so I say my adwen ko so say nkrofo import from no they also try to get these things from and around the Strait of Hormuz. And that Strait of Hormuz no and then the gateway a friend is saying Iran, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia no so ko oil no nim nyama na be a fano sa channel na fano and a friend no the Strait of Hormuz. Enti since so a woman Ghana for it's basically the price of oil no any tools so no your pharmaceuticals no ebi so fa ho apomodin mu nyama uko hospital na eduro no short to a eno so sa straight no ebi fa ho ye empire bonya ti say the way a man penyin president Mahama kan oka em say oshia civil society no oka say ye bompa say saa de na ka Trump ma okọ bombi Iran no nyamenka na kuma na omunjai ntokwa no na at least no economy intimi enfa ntuma pa enye den enfra. While bombs were flying, like I said earlier on, President Mahama was busy fighting for you and I. President Mahama was busy fighting for our place on the world stage. Enye se mpese mekai mo yao, enye se mpese mekai mi akasa mi yao, but some time ago no, na yen as nipano as blacks no, na yen same fata in the eyes of people. Emma, ye nananom ni efa nananom ni ye mamenom ye sister for emma mo kodane akwa emma brofufo no yeah idea na very 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 hurtful to your race. And for the longest time no it happened in the say you can't want them now so you attach any level of importance a good year abrofufo no every time ya mo fa ya mo wia ye ye nananom mekwa kokko hu ntokwa ye kuma mo ya na de ya wasem ni na mu ni say if they come for them and then pack them in the Elmina castle like sardines when they put them on board. When the ship sails and they are having problems or challenges, well-bodied men and women, chained and shackled, for some reason, just to lighten the ship, they killed innocent people, stole our gold, stole things that tied us to our ancestors. Because of the time has come, say, Obibe Kasa. Now, Obibe Kasa no, na President John Dramani Mahama, wama ho hint, crab and some be the president. Omo ye some conference be Accra reparations. A honor or share bono or share bossy. So ba adia or the be in the foreign policy ni say. So some po a drone no se din obe ma brofofo no agye to mu say. Dia omo di ye nananom no ebi mu kra eyi ye nananom no tupu ni mu edikoje insurance no, you make them accept say sadie no the greatest crime that has happened to humanity. Now make am wa semi make am go see resolution na omo ko pass wo UN no. Na you see assemble ye tu ye boase kire nsem mu. That resolution, the transatlantic resolution na make am semi no. E wo mu say some time ago no, there were freedom fighters be the likes of Martin Luther King mo, Al Sharpton mo, ebe kika ho asem. Na ye kan ho asem civil rights movement. Omo ye ni omeye. Ni ekusi ye ni say they just had a day to recognize. Say ni say. Now so pass say the gravest crime ever happened to humanity no there be. Omo anji antu mo. Nsa. Enti this time no President Mahama last year and occur UN. Now in some occur UN no. It's so wonderful say it just sat perfectly with UN's theme. Almost theme of for almost 80th anniversary no, which is better together, peace, development and human rights. Now you become human rights once and you become human rights once a man. As they say it's me factor the fact say near every year no. I say it's me acknowledge. Now you call you name no. I say making sure say will be better when we are dealing with blacks and people of people of color. Who acknowledge human rights now so no racism no washemukina. Who acknowledge human rights no now so who some level of systemic racism there, what marginalizing xenophobia. And the President Mahama called the 80th UN session no Obobo nsem no so no. And I'll care about Ghanaians kukudama, industrious Ghanaians nyama mwa ye. And Omo who say afiwe no. He is going to introduce that bill. That resolution, Omo friend a draft of UN. He's going to introduce that draft. And the put Omo on notice. Say oba the obe yeni. And Osia there yo, Oka no so no waye. Afiwe no, wa mahwe and distract no. Enye US ntokwa bi okwa no, and everyone na aye den. Amana bela kwemu. Onye ni a, odesi na kuma so a ne botaye a, o se ni foreign policy mu nyina no. Ene ni ade a yekuku da mo pese oye. Intempara oma okujeto ablakwa honorable. Any foreign ministers omo amansan nyina akoye den akokesaye echiro mo se afiwe no dia epesi yeyeni. So he sent Okujeto Ablakwa to put the foreign ministers on notice. This was done, a UN General Assembly was called, and then a vote was held. It will surprise you to know that people who traumatized Ghanaians, people who were merchants of slave trade, most of them abstained. And the belligerent ones amongst them, the US, Israel, Argentina, voted against His Excellency's resolution. It's no surprise that these countries either abstained or they voted against. The inability to accept this truth or shame is what necessitated and led them to make decisions like this. However, Truth, no matter how clothed, can never be hidden. The world is awake. The lies that were told many years, the falsehoods, the untruths that were peddled many years ago, the awakening is now. And people know, people are aware. 123, 50 abstaining, and 3 voting against. Are we to talk about Argentina? Are we to remind ourselves of what they did to blacks? And Israel are most surprised and shocked, beyond perplexed, because Israel, in the time of the Holocaust and what was going on, the blacks supported the movements. For somebody who claimed to have known pain, you should be able to feel the pain of another person. Are they trying to say that slave trade or slavery was good? The UK claiming that, the way the resolution is, they don't support it in that particular shape and form. That is why they are abstaining. The UK should be bowing its head down in shame, because truth always remains paramount. Dear viewers, it's important we talk about the most talked about and most anticipated topic for today, which is the big push. Not quite long, we had Sulemana Brahma from the 4th Estate coming out with what he termed the first scandal in this government. He called it an expose. We were all itching to find out what the scandal was about, and then only to realize it was all about soul sourcing. The big push has drawn a lot of conversations lately. Where do we start from? Do we start from Brahma Sulemana's 4th Estate? Or do we start from our numerous bloggers who are all over taking videos and making sure that contractors are on their tippy toes? It's important I talk about Brahma Sulemana's 4th Estate. He said it was going to be the first scandal. Can you imagine? There's been this itch and this desire by some people to, first and foremost, see something go wrong, or secondly, just have one minister or government appointee slip up. Brahma Sulemana, with all due respect to him and to his good works, sensationalized by talking about scandal, because in the end, he came up and said that it's soul sourcing. And we all know that soul sourcing isn't a crime or isn't illegal. It's true, viewers, that President John Mahama did say that in his administration he was going to use less of soul sourcing, but he never said it was illegal. You could have talked about it, Brahma, my boss or my senior. You could have talked about it without saying that it was going to be the first major scandal. It's important to talk about what he said. He said 78% of most of the big push projects were sole sourced, only for us to check and also to corroborate what the minister put out there. 44% of the project were through competitive tendering, not even sole sourcing, as our big brother, the venerable Brahma Sulemana, put out there. For us here at 45 TV, we would want to entreat that you, the viewers, you make busy your phones. Take these videos of the roads. It's behind your houses and whatnot. It's on your junction. You know, take the videos and let's know. Just like the bloggers are doing. Every country needs some level of development. What is being said by Brahma and the others, let's take a pause. Without good roads, we will not be able to send our farm produce. We need to move beyond agrarian thinking, where we are just focused on subsistence farming. We grow a little and then we eat it. If we are unable to transport what we produce to the marketplace or market centers or to the commercial hubs, we will not be able to achieve any meaningful development as Ghanaians. I think the big push is a work in progress. It's early days yet. There's a lot we can talk about, or there's a lot we can say about it, but we need to give time some time. If Ghana is going to be better, we need to talk about the good and then shun the wrongs. From the look of things, here at 45 TV, and I know my director will agree with me, we only see the good. So far, we are not scared of the truth here at 45 TV. We will show the roads. And where there are contractual misrepresentations, we will point it out. In this brief edition, we want to thank you for spending time with us. We promise to come with more captivating stories, and we are not going to be praise singers of this government. Trust us. When it goes wrong, we'll be the first to say something about it. Have a wonderful evening. It's Jude at 45 TV, Politics with Jude. Thank you.